everything is big in Texas. That's an understatement when speaking about the Salt Lick Barbecue. A short drive out of Austin, you will find the world-famous Salt Lick Restaurant and Winery. Their slogan, barbecue like no other, can't be more true, and visitors are quickly welcomed by the sweet, savory smell of the now infamous barbecue pit.
Well, hello everybody. Today we're here in Driftwood, Texas at the Salt Lick with Scott.
Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
this is your family's place.
Yeah, my mother and father and I started it back in 1967, and the majority of them came from the southeast between 1850 and 1880.
Yeah, that's a big deal you told me. That's like being on the Mayflower in Texas.
Yeah, on the original 300, or old 300 is what I think they call it. These pits are the way that his family cooked when they were coming to Texas. What they would do is in the wagons, they'd stop at some place and they'd put rocks up. They'd build a big fire. And they'd put their grill on top of the rocks.
Okay.
Then this is an integral part. If these weren't here, the barbecue wouldn't taste the same. And it's this barbecue sauce has no tomatoes, it's high sugar, high acid. And when we put it on the meats like you see here, the heat caramelizes it and it changes the color from right like that to like the ones that over there are ready to deal. And it's a real smoky, sugary taste on the outside. But if we didn't do this caramelization and two other things, it wouldn't taste the same. I told my daughter, she runs the wine kind of operation. I told her one day that she'll be able to put a bottle up here and say, this came from my great-great-grandmother's cotton field. Put another bottle and say, this came from my great-grandmother's cotton field, and this came from my grandmother's field, which I think is pretty neat.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, we tried.
Well, let's get back there and take a look. Well, Scott, this is the area where you pre-cook the meat, right?
It's the first two steps that I said that the relatives used to do out there on the front.
Yes.
They would sear and then slow cook. And so what we do back here on these are wood-fired rotisserie ovens.
And the same oak, right?
Same live oak. What we do is here we season the meats and we put them in here and we turn the heat up as high as these will get.
Okay.
And basically what it does is it sears the outside and the edges and causes the seasonings, the peppers and the salt to adhere to the outside of the meat.
Okay. And then you cook them on the low heat.
When they reach this stage, when we go into my father's stage, which is chilling, and we take them into blast chillers and chill them down real quick. So, as I told you earlier that ours is, my father found out our barbecues are more like chili. They taste better the second time. So this is the unit that chills them. So I bring them in here. Here's our ribs. They just, like we were showing, and this is where they come to next, and then they're chilled. But then the other thing that what happens is the heat, the air in here is very dry.
Okay.
So we actually encase the meats while we're going to hold them in plastic, but we don't do it to enhance the shelf life. It's just to hold the moisture in. Then I'll show you how we store them.
Okay, great. So this looks like you're set up to do some volume, Scott.
Oh yeah, last year we did around 690,000 guests.
Right here. Good job, good job, good job. Hey, you know what they always say, everything's bigger in Texas.
That's right.
And that's how you do it here, right?
Yeah.
So what are we going into here?
This is when after we've encased it in the plastic to hold the moisture in. So after it's done and ready to go, they're coming in here, we put them in these tubs.
Oh, these are in the bags.
Yeah, and they're all dated.
This is turkey, huh?
Mm-hmm. They're all kept in here.
And you were telling me something interesting too, on your potato salad and your coleslaw. I mean, literally, you make it as it runs out of the front line.
So when they get down to this much in the bottom of a pan, they tell the chef makes a new one and comes back out again.
Because that's the way it was back in the old days, right?
Because our recipes there was no refrigeration, so they were designed to be fresh.
Well, Scott, now we're back to where we started, but this is really the finishing touch, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where those last three flavor profiles are added. The caramelization, the pecan smoke, and then that flare-up smoke. The other thing too is that even though that this is the brisket that they intend to serve between now and around 4 o'clock.
Okay.
We keep intensive records on how much we serve and so like this, so you prepare for that. So even those briskets took 20-something hours to fully cook the entire process, they're actually finished to order. So everything is basically finished to order. That's one reason it keeps fresh.
You know, when we walked up, because we walked back for a little while, we came back, they changed. These have changed just in the time that we went in the back.
They've darkened up, as you can see, and then they put a little bit more sauce on them to keep them from drying out.
Love it. Now, I guess the next big thing is you're gonna show us how it looks, what we're looking for, and eat some of it. Okay. Great, let's do it. we're at the cutting board now. We're almost gonna get to taste this.
Yeah.
So Scott, what's going on? This is a brisket.
This is a brand new brisket, and the way we cut it to begin with is we take this little piece off right here, and this is called a burn in.
Okay, burnt in.
And then we take this over here too because it's a burn in.
Some people like those, right?
Oh, they love them. So we have a little place we hold those at. Then we come back and I take this portion off right here, and this will go into chopped beef.
Okay.
And then we slice these. What do you have, 2 family style? Then we slice these like this.
Look at the moisture coming out of here. This is amazing. That, to me, that's the key with brisket, moisture. I hate dry brisket, no way. This is real Texas cooking, isn't it?
Hey, you want to try a little treat?
Yeah, before we go over the table.
This is the burnt in.
Okay.
So I'll let you try the burnt in.
Look at this, you guys. I mean, this looks like heaven on earth. Delicious.
That's that caramelization we talked about.
What the heck?
Those are pretty good, aren't they?
That's beyond good.
Okay, and then this is what we call the lean here. And so this came out of the center section of the brisket.
That burnt end is so moist, so delicious, caramelized like no tomorrow. I've never had anything like that.
That's what I say. Without this pit, it makes us unique. Let's go try some.
All right, let's do it.
So I'm going to start you off with a little bit of what I call the Texas appetizer. These are beef ribs, okay? So you can have one of these, and we'll get started before we have the family style meal. This doesn't come on the family style meal.
Well, what's on there right now?
Right on there right now is black pepper, cayenne pepper, salt, and the caramelized regular sauce.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try it like this. I'm gonna be a purist. Okay. Holy gosh.
You're good.
No, you know what I said was one heck of an appetizer.
That's the appetizer, and then in a minute we're going to go into the family style. So, well, if you're finished with your appetizer, just put it in the bone bowl.
This thing is so good. It's like I wish I could even eat the bone. Probably it's so good.
We compost the bone.
Okay, good.
Now we'll start on the meal. So this is our coleslaw.
Okay.
It's really more, like I said, everything is made fresh because they didn't have refrigeration. That's the way the recipe's balanced. It's really a vinegar and oil cabbage salad.
Okay, I'll serve myself here.
These are our beans. These are just regular pinto beans that we make up, and we refrigerate those overnight.
For the flavor. Okay, to enhance the flavor. I love beans.
And this is the potato salad, which is just potatoes and a little sauce and some pickled onions and salt and pepper and popped sesame seeds that my mother came up with.
Ah, yeah, Mom's Japanese influence, huh?
So we give you a little relish plate, pickles and onions, if you want that. We have our barbecue bread.
Okay. I'll pass on the bread because I'm not eating bread. I'm being a good boy.
The meat. And this is the original platter. On the family style, we have beef brisket. They brought you the lean here.
Okay.
These are pork spare ribs and a beef and pork sausage. And if you want to try one,
Yeah, jalapeno.
pickled jalapenos.
Gotta have that.
Now, we pickle them ourselves. We do a cold pickle. So we make the pickle up. It's a sweet pickle instead of a dill pickle too. And then we put the pickle after it's chilled onto the jalapenos, and then we set them inside the walk-in at 36 degrees for about 7 days.
Okay.
And that's why the color is so more vibrant. It doesn't get blanched out by the hot pickle, and it'll be crunchy
Okay.
and hot.
Let me try the pickle right off the bat. Let me see what we got here. Unbelievable. I'm gonna take some of this potato salad because I've never had potato salad like that.
And we cook our potatoes in the jacket, in the skins,
Okay.
so that they don't, and then we peel them after they're cooked. That way they don't take on a whole lot of water. And we put the sauce on them and stuff when they're hot, and the pores are open them so the sauce goes in instead of just coating the potato. But really,
What's it? Is there some kind of like chili powder or something? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good.
but the real thing about it is the potato is still the star of the dish, not mayonnaise.
It really is. It doesn't taste mayonnaise at all. It tastes very fresh. This coleslaw is great. Nice and light.
And crunchy.
Yeah, I love it like that. Gotta try the beans. And these are like, people ate a lot of beans back in the day.
And those are just pinto beans that have been cooked, and there's a lot of chili in them. And Camino.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Wow. These are ridiculous.
I used to, when we first got started, and that pit was just a pit, and there wasn't anything around, I'd stand there and just eat spare ribs.
Yeah.
Like this is a spare rib.
Yeah, I know.
A rack of spare ribs.
I'm glad I don't live near here because I'd have some trouble.
Mad at me because I'd eat all the ribs up and wouldn't have anybody to sell to anybody.
Scott, You know, I just had a little slice of heaven here in Austin, Texas, or outside Austin, Texas, that is. And I mean, people got to get out here. It's worth the drive if you're in Austin or if you're in Texas, anywhere. It's probably, you know, worth the drive anywhere if you're within 100 miles to get out here.
Very kind of you to say.
Well, it's delicious, you know, and I am impressed. And this is a feast, and you can take care of anybody that comes out here because you got a big place and you know how to take care of people.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well,
a wonderful staff too.
Oh yeah, amazing. They were amazing. And thank you so much for being here with us. And until next time, just remember to
enjoy.